Good afternoon, folks. My name is Tiffany Daniels, and this is another episode of Spilling Tea. So there's a couple entirely separate things I wanted to cover today. First, I wanted to vent a little bit and clear a few things up. So I was asked a little bit in my DMs. I hope they don't mind me mentioning this, but a little bit about the neurodiversity. What other disorders come under it? And this was in regards to JD, because even though he hasn't really said anything publicly, it has become confirmed in the court transcripts that he is diagnosed with ADHD, which does fall under the neurodiversity umbrella of disorders. When I went to go pull up some information, however, I could tell it's been a real long time since it was actually us that had control of the narrative, because folks, I saw lie after lie after lie. So I wanted to clear a few things up. I'm sure you can tell I'm a little pissed off. So you have these professionals, and what they're going to tell you is that we are against any cure for a neurodivergent diagnosis. That is on an individual basis. Not everybody in the movement feels the same. Now, all of us do agree that cure culture is toxic, and when you focus on a cure and nothing else, there's a problem. When you're spilling billions and billions of dollars on research, and meanwhile you have families in low-income areas that can't even go in and get a diagnosis for their kid, or you have people trying to get state services for their kid that lose services over time because there's not enough money to continue the CI, community integrations, the therapies, because instead all those millions and billions of dollars are going towards a cure. That's a problem. That's something we all agree on. So, right straight out of the gate, they're against any chance of a cure. No, Karen. No. None of us said that. We're saying that after years and years of research and billions of dollars flushed down the toilet, we want a little reality to set in your brain that we're here, we're not going anywhere. You might as well spend that money on things that will actually help people with a diagnosis instead of throwing more money down the drain at a cure that is more than likely never going to happen. Okay? I'm glad we cleared that up. Because we're talking about a billion-dollar industry, folks. People raising money for ungodly numbers, and all these families they're supposedly trying to help never see a dime. Okay, moving on. Next thing that they claim. They claim that we say that it's merely a difference. It's not really a disorder that needs to be treated. Oh no, it's just simply a different way of being. Karen. Okay. what we want is recognition as human beings to be able to let our voice be heard in matters that concern us. We want you to be recognized as human beings who, even though our minds may function differently from yours, and we may need some extra supports from time to time. It's called reasonable accommodations, by the way, Karen. That shouldn't be a reason to not treat us like human beings. That's it. That's it. There is no, we don't think it's a disorder. Nobody said that. Nobody said that. All of us in the neurodiversity movement are well freaking aware, considering we're the ones with the actual diagnoses under that umbrella that deal with it on a day-to-day basis, that there are severe drawbacks, severe issues that can pop up. Anxiety, depression. We're all well aware. We're well aware of the fact that there are traits that do require us to seek treatment. Nobody's saying that we just simply call it a life difference. Seriously? So as one of the OGs behind the very beginnings of the neurodiversity movement, now that we've gone into what it isn't, let me tell you what it actually is. The neurodiversity movement was created by a handful of us so that people with these diagnoses would have the ability to have a voice in regards to issues that have to do with us. It was formed not only so we could have a voice and be able to have a seat at the table, but also as a chance to network with each other and network with these groups so we can work together to create resources so everybody involved can work towards a common goal of a more independent, fulfilling life for those under the neurodiversity umbrella. That's it. That's what it's always been. Later on, when the horrors of the Judge Rotenberg Center were uncovered, it also became a movement to fight for the human dignity and rights for people not only with neurodivergent disabilities, but other disabilities as well. The dehumanization, you can't even know how prevalent, how awful, and how deep in the closet and under the rug it is. It's everywhere. And it never gets reported on. So we uncover those stories. We shove them into the light of day. We give the victims of such abuses a voice. That is also what we are about. We're fighting for our rights. We are fighting for the right to have the same opportunities as people who are not neurodivergent. That's it. We are not some conspiracy who are trying to take a cure away from your child. Take away services from your child. We're not trying to say that your child doesn't need services. This is nonsense. And they do it because they want to silence us. They want to silence us. Because when we speak, when we bring these abuses to light, it opens a whole can of worms, because it's not just some media here and there that gets uncovered. We're talking the big dogs, big money. We're talking the monster Autism Speaks and those things that they've supported. And we pull up receipts to show just how much the company, a non-for-profit that receives billions of dollars from all over the world every year, how much they actually spend to help the families. And they don't like that. So they're going to misinform on us. They're going to make parents resent us so that they won't peek at the man behind the curtain. I just wanted to rant a little bit about that. Now, kind of a subject I've never covered that was brought up in Les's stream with Come Geek Some a little earlier. I feel like I should create a blog that's just like a list of the stupid that comes out of Amber Heard's mouth. Okay, what am I talking about? Well, let's rewind. My parents were alcohol. Oh, no. This is for you, Gary, if you watch this. My parents, they were big drinkers, and I didn't want to end up like them, so I only drink wine, so I can't get drunk. You can't get drunk off of wine, really? Because back in my drinking days, I can tell you that a wine hangover is the most awful hangover. And you're not talking just headaches. Your stomach is tore up for a minute. So, where am I going with this? For someone who totes herself as so intelligent, the fact this crap leaves her mouth and people buy it? Like, what is the modern measure for intelligence, if that's considered intelligent? Have we really dropped so far? Because that's just one of the gold nuggets that come out of her mouth. I mean, what can I say other than that's not how any of it works, Ambi. Alcohol is alcohol. Whether it is wine, beer, vodka, gin, rum, whiskey, scotch, bourbon, tequila. My God. Like, my mind can't even comprehend that level of stupid. Like, my brain just, like, stops and kind of, like, does a cringe thing. Like, it just goes... It has that moment of does not compute. I needed to rant about that. And it also brings to this whole double standard. These stands, they go on and they bash JD all the time for his drug use. She's on tape. On tape. Admitting to taking a stupid amount of drugs. Hallucinogens, uppers, downers. I'm surprised she's alive. She has pictures on her Instagram with wine bottles lining an entire street. But we're gonna ignore all that. See, just never mind that. We never saw that. We're gonna ignore her alcohol abuse and her drugs. But we are totally just gonna malign JD for his. And we're not even gonna think about, maybe, just maybe, he was using it as a coping mechanism because he's had to deal with her shit. Trying to escape the pain when you are unable to physically leave the room. Because I can promise you that's a thing. I didn't do the drugs part, but I certainly did the booze part. Just wanted to get that out of my system. It's a double standard. It really is. There shouldn't be one standard for men with addictions and another one for women. Why are women excused all of their crap? And oh, we must help them. We must help them with their drug addiction. Don't you dare look down on her. But you're gonna judge the man, aren't you? Aren't you? Well, sorry. Done, I promise. Alright, folks, that's all I got for this evening. Thank you so much for being patient through that rant. I'm going to be over at Rob Rules. Come here, 5:30 Central Time, 6:30 Eastern Standard Time. We have Zod and Gary. Please join us. Now, if you could, please don't forget to hit the like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. Thank you. Bye-bye.